Okay, hello, Professor Dr. Bassey. How are you?
Um, Hello, Angela. I'm fine, Dr. Angela. Good to meet you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. It really doesn't matter. Between us, we can call each other by our first name, right?
It's a
Okay.
pleasant thing to have me here now.
Oh, it is my honor to have you on my podcast because your credential, your achievement is something unique, and very few people had achieved what you had achieved in your life at that age. So that's why I'm inviting you. That's why you are my special guest. Everyone that I invite here has a special credential, something, an achievement that is extraordinary. And I regard you as one of those extraordinary people. So without further ado, hey, friends, wherever you are, shalom, greetings from Crazy Talks with Wise People. This is Mary Angela Talk once again, recording live from my home studio at Wheelchair United Kingdom. With us today, as you can see, is a person of excellence and relevance. Not only relevance, but significance. You see, Professor Dr. Ofonime Emmanuel Bassey Asokua is an author of 12 books and still counting. How many books have you written? I've written only one. He had written 12 and still counting. I don't know how many books will he be able to write until he grows 80, grows older, like 80 years old, maybe 100. Oh my God. Okay. And this one. Okay. So aside from 12 books and still counting, he is a United Nations certified peace trainer, strategic peace builder, a leadership, peace, and conflict advisor. Oh, wow. This is something that you need to learn, or this really triggered my his credential on the United Nations peace negotiation, strategic peace builder, and leadership. This really had triggered my curiosity, and that's why I invited him here. Okay, so further, he is a professor of leadership, peace and conflict resolution, and ICOF, Global University, USA, and Charismatic International University in Cameroon. He is an apostolic prophetic intercessor. Wow. Teacher and the apostolic missions director of Destiny Sanctuary International Ministry in Lagos, Nigeria, and the president CEO of NISI Safety Management Institute, famous for peace leadership. Also founder, Peace Leaders International Coalition and NISI Wealth and Peace Building Nation. Wow. This is also something that we can talk about today. What is NISI Wealth and Peace Building Nation? We all need this. We need peace. We need wealth. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to your input. He is also the president and national presiding bishop, Christian Coalition for Good Governance, Nigeria, a Christian political movement and voice in governance. Are you able to speak with your president? Okay. Are you able to teach his staff on his building leadership, transformational leadership, not tyrannical, whatever. Okay. Um, he is a Christian political movement and voice in governance. He is a member, Christian Rural and Urban Development Association of Nigeria, which is CRUDAN. Professor Ofan Emmanuel Bassey has served and interacted at the top level management of Nigeria Police, as well as internationally as a United Nations monitor, mentor in Kosovo, Europe. Wow. Let's all welcome Professor, Doctor, Bishop, President, whatever. He's got all the titles, but He really does. Because he's a stable person. You'd know if a person is stable because he really doesn't put all the titles before his name. So he simply wanted to be called the biodata that he sent me. He simply wanted to be called Professor Ofan Emmanuel Bassey. And I'd like you to welcome him in spite of him being a bishop, being a president, being president of that, that. He just wanted to be called Professor. A warm welcome to our special guest today.
Thank you, Dr. Angela. I appreciate that. The comments were just pulling my legs.
No,
it's
true.
yeah, you're just pulling my legs with your comments. I'm okay with even at the professor level. It's just because the universities I'm working for and who brought about those elevations, they insist I have to use professor. Otherwise, I was good with doctor, and that was fine enough. So I don't like carrying many titles. And it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
They are there. So so thank you so much. Yeah.
Oh, if you were not special, you will not be invited to guest on my podcast, as you've seen all the credentials of my past guests. All right. I'm just curious. I'm just curious, Professor Bassey. This one in Kosovo, because this is this is a high profile news, and I'd like you to tell us about what you did in Kosovo. Yeah, because you mentored in Kosovo, Europe. What did you do here as a peace negotiator? Wasn't that dangerous?
Thank you. Actually, as at the time that my appointment to serve at Kosovo came, the issues of negotiation were already done. And so what we were doing at that moment was to mentor and to monitor. A mentor in the sense that especially the law enforcement community in Kosovo, police officers specifically, they needed to be taken through the policing international standard. And so the job of a mentor or mentors were necessary as at that time to take them through the international standard of policing. And so we needed to do that and also monitor to ensure that they, abide by the rules of criminal justice administration, as it has to do, judging from the fact that this is a society that is just coming out from war. So that's exactly what we were doing. So it was, yeah.
So what was the result of that initiative or that project?
Of course, the result is that we were able to get internationally police officers that were of international standards who were ready and able to do their jobs rightly. And of course, it was as a result of that exercise, or that they are assimilating what we gave to them at that time through mentoring, that speed up the process of their independence. And of course, yeah, because it gave them the opportunity to maintain peace in line with the international police standard.
Oh, wow. Was it easy? How was the experience working with the police? I'm asking this because, we ordinary citizens sometimes are, well, we don't really, I'm sorry, we're not really comfortable with the military when, the word military itself, it's kind of scary. Were you not scared? Were you not intimidated?
Yeah, I can understand. Kosovo, judging from the fact that they, at that time, they were just coming out from war, and issues of human rights abuse were very much in place, and also understanding that Kosovo is multi-ethnic society. We have the Serbians, the issues of ethnic clashes, ethnic issues were there. And so these were some of the concerns that international police standard needed to be the guide for them to be able to get things right and able so that issues of abuse would have been eradicated or reduced to the barest minimum. And I think we were able to accomplish that. Yes, just like any other society, we have a multi-ethnic community. There is bound to be issues of conflicts. Of course, generally conflicts even from two brothers or sisters that comes out from the same womb. There will still be issues of conflicts, because conflicts where two or more are there, there is bound to be misunderstanding. There is bound to be agitation. There is bound to be a lot of things that, a lot of disagreements. So, and Kosovo was one of such, with the Albanians on one hand, the Serbians on the other hands, and of course, so there were issues of concern, and so giving them or mentoring them and monitoring to ensure that international police standard where human rights abuses will be checkmated was a very big concern. And we had successes. We had so much successes. The place was calm enough, peaceful enough, and that provoked the call for elections, and also eventually the independence of the nation of Kosovo.
Wow. How long did you stay in Kosovo?
Personally, I was in Kosovo for 15 months to carry on my assignments.
A year and 3 months. And that was like post-war era. How was your life in Kosovo?
Yeah, post-war era.
Where did you live? How was your life condition in
Kosovo? That was between 2005 and 2007.
My goodness. Okay. But mission accomplished anyway. Why did you choose this kind of a career when it is a little bit risky?
Well, you can agree with me that not only career in security, peace, and conflict resolution that is risky. There is risk almost everywhere.
But that one is physically risky. I mean, there's risk everywhere. In different levels. But this one that you chose is physically risky and uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You see,
to me, issues of peace looks like a passion for me. It's like
oh,
a calling for me.
it is a
Yeah, I
calling.
take joy in it. It gives me rest. It gives me peace to engage myself, engage in it. Yeah, it gives me peace. So yes, the human factor will always be there. You will always be reminded of the threats, and when you now remember of the positive outcome that your engagement may bring, then that gives you enough energy to push.
Yeah, that is it. When a
Yeah,
person is operating from the vantage point of passion, they see the end result of what they do, and they don't see
yeah,
all the barriers. You're right. Okay. Well, aside from peace negotiations, traveling to dangerous places, and advocating peace, what other things? Well, you've written books on leadership, peace leadership. What is peace leadership? I think it's my first time to hear about peace leadership. I have heard about transformation leadership. That's what I do. That's what I teach. But peace leadership, what is it?
yeah. From my profile, yes, it's been there that I'm a certified United Nations peace trainer. I've been able, I think I should have I should have 4, 5 or more training session that has to do with the United Nations, and or training courses that has to do with the United Nations, especially on issue of training the trainers, and
Training the trainers,
you
peace leadership.
in peace and leadership. Yeah.
Can you train
So
Biden or can you train Biden or or Putin?
we can train. I can train anyone that is willing, available, and ready. I can train anybody that is willing, available, and ready. Actually, everyone needs to understand what peace leadership is all about.
Yes,
Because
please tell us.
I do say that uh, when leaders battle, achievement of 1,000 years are destroyed in a moment. When leaders do battle, achievement of 1,000 years are destroyed in a moment. A typical of it is what is going on in Sudan, what is going on in Ukraine as we speak. So, like you mentioned about transformational leadership, transactional leadership, and perhaps other types of leadership, peace leader, yeah, peace leadership is concerned about the skills, acquiring the skills relevant to leading the people in an atmosphere of peace. And you will agree with me, Angela, that you need a peaceful atmosphere any day, anytime to be able to be productive. As we speak now, there's nothing productive about Ukraine. There's nothing productive about Sudan, because the only focus of the government and the people is how to engage and get success in the war that is going on, the violence that is going on. So the atmosphere of peace is what every leader at every level must, see to it that he intentionally creates such atmosphere. Even in the family, if the family is is passing through crisis, conflicts, nothing reasonable will grow in that family. Nothing reasonable there will be no productivity going on in that family. So you have it at the family level, you have it at the community level, at the national level, at the international level, at the marketplace, in organizations, whether it is the worship center, commercial organizations. If the leader is not security and peace sensitive, by way of his policy, the policies that comes out from such leadership, the policy direction of such leadership, then there is that tendency for the leader to either intentionally or ignorantly create an atmosphere of conflict, even at the leadership level.
Yeah.
Even at the leadership level. From study, we discover that leaders themselves, ignorantly or intentionally, do, provoke conflict, and violent conflict for that matter. And so nothing productive, nothing profitable comes out from such scenarios. So peace leadership is a must for every leader, especially today's leader, where there are a lot of concerns for how to address issues of conflict, and a lot of things are happening even at the marketplace. Yeah.
Yes, you're right. So are you running trainings for the youth, or for, especially for national leaders? Is United Nations running trainings for the national leaders? I mean, peace trainings for national leaders, like Putin. Well, let's include Zelensky. Let's include Sunak. Is there such a thing as that? Like, peace leadership to all the national leaders and international or continental or intercontinental leaders.
Yeah, we do have training programs for every level of leadership. Have things for the youth, for family leaders. We have things for workplace leaders. And of course, we have things for national leaders, political leaders. Right now there is a training program that we are advertising. Yes. And that has to do with especially Nigeria.
Yeah. Show the flyer to us. I will enable screen sharing so you can share it with us.
Can I continue?
There. I enabled screen sharing. Will you please share it with us? Okay, while you're navigating your screen, may I ask another question? Are you offering your peace training and a lot of your trainings to your local government? I mean, national government.
Yes, that is what I was, going into that. We have trainings for all levels of leadership, including local government, for the local government, like in case of Nigeria, the state government, the federal government at all levels. We have different trainings for different level of leadership. And on Monday, the 29th of May, for example, Nigeria just have a transition to a new government, and we have training programs that takes care of such of people at that level of leadership, elected leaders, appointed, elected political leaders, appointed political leaders. So we have training programs that will help them to be security and peace sensitive as they engage the people, especially as it has to do with their policy direction. Yes. So so we have things like that.
Oh, okay.
I've
BC
you've
Safety
seen,
Management Institute, famous for peace leadership, executive career transformation, CEOs, public or corporate executives, elected or appointed government. Oh, I'm so happy that you are offering this to your to your national government. Wow, excellent. Yes. I hope your president will listen to you, will join this and commission you to train everybody in his office, from him down to the local executives. Wow,
yeah,
great. Yes.
all levels of
That is
leadership.
great to be
The
an asset
focus
to your
of our
country.
training is leadership. Leadership at all levels. At all levels of leadership.
If you have a bias for security, it says here conflict management or sustained peace. Sustained peace. There are a few premium slots left in our masterclass leadership series. Oh, excellent. I'm so happy you're doing this for your country. May your your effort, your talent,
Yeah.
prosper. May you multiply. Are you training people now? I mean, legacy purposes. Are you a training staff to, or are you multiplying yourself?
Yes. We have trained the trainers course for those who are willing and ready to go into these aspects of our training. And
Excellent.
yeah.
Well, I like this sustained peace. This is what we need. How about how about busting graft and corruption? I'm not saying that Nigeria is. I don't know what's happening internally. Inside Nigeria. I haven't been there. But this is a general observation.
Let me have observation once again.
General observation that a lot of people all over the world, a lot of leaders, national leaders, from national to local, there's there is this common observation that they are corrupt. Do you have courses to avoid graft and corruption?
To avoid what?
Do you offer courses to I think you offer course on integrity because graft and corruption falls.
Yes. Yeah. In my book titled I Am Resolved.
Okay, can you show the cover of your book, please?
Okay. In my book titled I Am Resolved, I made mention of what I call integrity development and management.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
The cover of your book. Yeah. I hope not only, I hope you can, you can run this not only in Nigeria, but all over the world.
So I believe that issues of integrity is key. And so we have courses that have to do with anti-corruption advocacy. And I've also written a book on fighting corruption, especially from the church.
Wow.
So I have a book. Especially
just a bit of that. Okay, just maybe like 3 minutes chit chat about that. How can we fight corruption? How can we bust corruption? Let's say local, just local. How can an ordinary citizen like me, help bust corruption?
Yeah. Fighting corruption, there are multiple dimension approach to it. And one of which, and very important about it, has to do with issue of training, education. a lot of people are engaging in what they are doing without the knowledge of the consequence of what they are doing. So they just, yes, so they just get themselves doing what they are doing. They don't understand the consequences. And so so education is key. And of course, moving towards eradicating issues of poverty is also key. Providing people an enabling environment to make clean money, make wealth. That is why when you see, when you read the profile of our institute, we mentioned something about wealth building. We are looking at the fact that in people trying to build wealth, people take through the roots of insecurity to build wealth. People take through the roots of corruption to build wealth.
Yes.
So so in our institute, we also look at the issues of building wealth and possibly introduce legitimate
businesses or opportunities.
Yes, opportunities. Yeah, we
Social,
introduce
like
it to
social
people.
entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Yeah. So we do that because because even on the issues of insecurity that we find here and there, some of those people are engaging on these criminal things as a result or in their quest to make more money, in their quest to survive. They engage in things that causes other people a lot of concern, injury, and probably death.
Yeah. So, okay, now I'm a pessimist. I mean, I'm not a pessimist, but well, since you're a consultant, I want to ask you this question. Can we still teach old dogs new tricks? Because most of the politicians are actually above 50. So can we teach old dogs new tricks? Because most of these politicians and people in government are above 50. Hello?
I want to believe that a lot of people are tilting to what they do based on ignorance. Based on, like I said, greed and selfishness as a result of trying to create or build wealth. So they go through the wrong method. They go through the illegitimate method to do these things. So with appropriate training, with appropriate knowledge, these people, we've had cases in 2006, 2016 and 17. We were opportune to do what we called a reorientation course for officers of the Nigerian police in Lagos State, Nigeria. During that moment, we were able to train over 3,000 officers in Lagos alone.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And I can recall a lot of the officers on the day of their graduation. You find them even during the classes, you find them very sober, some practically weeping based on what they have done ignorantly. When you get yourself in an environment that, for example, assaulting one another is the order of the day, you will think that assault is just part of life. Until you get to learn that assault is wrong, morally wrong, criminally wrong, and it is at that point that you get to understand. So, wow, I've been engaging in things that were wrong. Morally, legally, they were wrong. And so you begin to, change the course of your life because you've now been able to get an information that you never got earlier on. So education is still, doing a lot of miracles, so to speak, even at the level of political leaders.
Wow. Do you include spiritual education and then values education also in your trainings?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. So your training is holistic.
Yeah, our training is total.
Yeah. Great. I'm so happy to have heard about this, that someone is having this burden to change at least, your local situation, because we always start from our own backyard.
Yeah.
Before we go out of our own backyard, we should always cleanse our own backyard. So I'm so happy. And, my wish is that you can offer this training to your country's president. And then I hope that he will commission you to train his staff from top down to the local government. This is going to be very, very helpful for your country.
I'm looking forward to that. Like this is the book on anti-corruption.
From the title is
from the church.
The church can lead the war against corruption. My goodness! Oh my goodness! Make me shout. All right. Against corruption for sustainable development. Okay, so you also need to train some of the pastors, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of trainings for pastors.
So you also need to train bishops, archbishops, and well, I'm not saying, I'm not really saying, that church is corrupt, but just to safeguard.
Yeah.
Just to safeguard people in church too, because if the church, if the campaign will emanate from the church, then these church leaders must lead by example.
Yes, they must live by example. Not only that, they are privileged leaders that the congregation, the followership are looking onto. And so not only should they live above board, but they are expected to help their followership to understand that these things are not right. And that is the essence of this book. So that the church leadership, whether the pastor, whether the elder, whether the deacon, will be able to push for it.
Yeah. Are you also selective with who you commission to help bust corruption within the community? I mean, do you do some character investigation on everybody in church who you would like to help you out with this advocacy?
Yes, we have programs for the communities. We have programs for the communities. We have something we call a community transformation program. Yeah, and in community transformation program, some of the times we move in form of town hall meetings, and we discuss on things centered on security, peace, and conflict, which corruption is part of it. So we do that, and we also do training programs for community leaders.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's I'm so happy. I'm so happy knowing you more and what you do and the fruits of what you're doing, your passion, your contribution to the society, and your future legacy. It is very exhilarating to see someone who's got a heart for humanity, not only a heart for humanity, but a person who is also equipped. So yeah, it is really it's really great to be speaking with someone like you. It is very inspiring as well. I'm so
Thank you.
inspired to do other things more in my life.
Thank you so much.
So is there anything else that you would like to plug? Because you've got a lot of activities. Can you please show them to us? And, I hope the Nigerians will be enrolling in your courses because these are brilliant courses that they really need, not only for themselves, well, of course, firstly for themselves, but not only for themselves, because if they will progress as human beings, they will be contributing the progress to the entire community and to the nation and to the whole world. So,
Mm,
yes. So, do you still have? I would love people to see what you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mm.
It's an honor. Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm honored to. Do you still have something to show us?
Okay, I wanted to show you, I think I promised to show you some of the books. We have The Peace Leader in You.
The peace leader in you.
You.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow. This is for individuals. I mean, who are the
yeah,
target
it's for
readers
the
for this book?
individuals.
Who are the
Mm.
target readers for this book?
We say you are good. You are go-to guide in waging peace anywhere.
Hmm. Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon
Yeah,
Kindle.
okay. It's on Amazon, The Peace Leader in You. So is this geared towards the youth, the executives, or the executives,
Yes,
or
I didn't get that, please.
so this is for everyone. Yeah, okay.
It's
The
yeah,
Peace
it's
Leader in You. Awesome. Anything else? Let's have
yeah,
tea. Let's have tea.
yeah. There will always be. There will always be. So like I said, if the individual uh, is not peace sensitive, security sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, once
Oh, something wrong with
achievement,
the audio. Okay,
one
explain.
achievement could be at any given point in time because one was not you spend the time to acquire all that one acquire and
Mm-hmm.
never care. Yeah, never care. Each a single conflict can destroy all one have been working for. And
Wow.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So carelessness on issues of conflict is not something that should be. You have this responsible leadership.
Oh, I like that. Responsible
Mm,
leadership, influence redefined in 5 principles.
principles. Yeah,
Wow. Okay. That's
yeah.
intriguing. What are those 5 principles? All right. We only have 2 minutes more to go, so let us wrap up. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor
Yeah.
Emmanuel Bassey. Actually, this is just an introduction to what he's doing because he's really doing something vast and profound. You see, vast and profound. So this is just an introduction. I really desire to have him back, and I'm sure you also would like to have him back here because he's doing a lot of interesting things that we ordinary people don't do. And knowing the side, the side of his story, knowing his adventures would be a lot more interesting on the next podcast if he will have the time to grace this podcast again. Well, I will give you back the floor, Professor Dr. Bishop. Okay. Well, actually, yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not a positional leader. So,
Yeah.
his title really does, titles don't matter to him. But anyways, I'm just saying this to promote him because sometimes we use titles to promote ourselves. But, on a day to day, he's really very humble. I mean, I've spoken with him several times via Zoom or via WhatsApp. and he is a very humble person, and humility, and that's why I wanted him to guest here, because humility is really one of those key factors in leadership, because he's a leadership team. Humility and love, and that's what I saw in him. Basic humility and love, but the basic things are very important, and I can attest to that he has it. He has this heart of Jesus in him, because the best leader that we need to see, or we need to look at, our role model for leadership like that, is Jesus. So okay, I give you the floor, and please give us your advice to the youth and to everyone, whatever it is that you want to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mhm.
You mentioned about issue of position when you were making your last comments, and I always have this to say that, of course, in leadership palace, that is what we have agreed, that position is the least level of leadership, and so getting yeah, it's the least level of leadership. So the 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 the, the question has always been, what do you do to make your world different? And in doing so, you discover that you get into the real leadership, the real influence, and be able to affect one society, positively. So I will enjoin each and every one of us that are listening to this, that acquiring skills on peace leadership is the best thing you can do for your life. Is the best thing you can do for your life. But without peace, you may be a charismatic leader, but without peace leadership, you cannot be iconic. So it is, you may be a servant's leader. Without peace leadership, you are not iconic. So peace leadership is one area of leadership you must discover for yourself. By the grace of God, I have 12 books that will help you to go through this path, be the best that you have always wanted to be for yourself, for your family, for your organization, for your community, for your nation, and for the global village, the world itself. So I challenge us to go into it, develop the skills, apply the skills, and be that iconic leader you've always wanted to be. Thank you.
Wow, that's loaded. So, well, the key word there is iconic leader. I'd like to be an iconic leader. I'd like to learn from you. Okay. All right. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Again, my friends, thank you for watching. Please follow our channel, because we only feature people who are making a difference in their lives. And if you are one person who'd like to make a difference in their lives, I mean, if you're one person who'd like to make a difference in your life, you please subscribe to our channel, because we only feature real role models in our podcast. So thank you once again. It has been a wonderful time.
Thank you, Dr. Angela.
We have learned a lot from you. And thank you always for subscribing, following, and I hope that you're learning from our guests. Crazy Talks with the Wise People. This is Mary Angela Talk, broadcasting live once again from Wheelchair, United Kingdom. Bye for now.
Bye.
Yeah.